How's it going, everyone? It is Drago. We are back again with another chapter of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest. Chapter 82, Revenge Match. The cover page for this week has Kagura on it. She's like unsheathing her blade and stuff, and honestly, like, the time period that it's like set in, it's like looks like when those cherry blossoms and stuff drop, because like those are like raining down all around her, and like she's got like, I don't know, like a Japan city behind her, or temple. Besides that, it's a pretty basic cover. It's nice to see Kagura again, and I think this might be the first time we've seen her in a 100-year quest. But if she has shown up, it's been pretty freaking minor. She might have been on a cover at some point. We've been through 82 chapters. There's probably a cover out there somewhere with her on it. For the most part, she's not playing a key role in a 100-year quest as of right now, but it's nice seeing her again. You know, obviously we haven't seen her since like the end of the series, so... Also doesn't really look like she changed up her outfit much at all. She kind of kept with her classic outfit that she's always been wearing. Getting into the actual chapter now, we go away from our fights for a little bit here, and we actually go back to Earthland, and the city that we're in was like the city kind of we initially were in for a 100-year quest, where Team Fairy Tail went to go investigate like the water dragon god. And when the team left there, you know, they basically had everything under control. Like the city used to be flooded, but then, you know, they fixed that problem. But currently right now, that city is having crazy storms like hurricanes and stuff going on again, and it's kind of starting to flood again. And the water dragon god, you know, like when they left there, they took the power away from him, so they didn't have to kill him, but like, you know, he's powerless, and he's like, hey, you know, all these storms that are happening in the city right now, you know, it's not my power. Like, this used to be my power, but like, this isn't my doing. And he immediately is like, oh, it must be Selene. And just like, okay, she's in a completely different world, but her power is so crazy that it stretches through multiple worlds. So her fighting in another world is actually causing ripple effects into Earthland, which is actually kind of insane. Literally in their conversation, they say this is why they are called gods. So, you know, they start talking about like the different dragon gods' powers, like, you know, the water dragon god, he lost his power mostly. Alderon, like his power, he was mostly sleeping. He wasn't at full power, but Selene has her original power intact. So essentially with their power, they have enough to probably destroy a world if they just casually wanted to, which that's what he points out in the sense of, he's like, okay, what scares me more is like, we don't know what her end goal is. Like, we don't know what she's trying to do, if she is trying to destroy the world or not. So we go away from Earthland, and now we actually go back to the fights that were happening in previous chapters, and we go back to the fight with Selene and Suzaku, and she does an attack called Moonblade, and I'm assuming this has to be insanely fast because he just looks completely blindsided in his reaction. And to be real, Selene like looks like this is zero effort. Like she's low diffing him, and he gets cut like pretty darn badly. Like, I mean, he's like, I swear I avoided in time, but like, did I? Selene's got like the smuggest face ever. She's like, you know, just dance for me, you know, like dance around my attacks. You know, you're not gonna survive. You're gonna die. And Suzaku does his Kurinugi style attacks again, doing the Kurinugi sword draw art underworld cycle. Selene does an attack called Moonlight Palm, basically causes like a freaking nuke, and he gets sent flying. Now Suzaku is really like beat up. He's getting blood all over his face, you know, and he's like, oh man, you're really formidable. And Selene, she still only has that one little cut on her cheek, but otherwise, like, she's scratchless. And she just starts going on like, oh, you know, our fight here, it really takes me back if I was fighting Kurinugi by myself. But, you know, this next attack, yeah, you're done. I'm killing you on this next attack. So we go away from them for a little bit, and we go back to the Whiteout Village. And we go to the team, which is Lucy and Gray, fighting against Haikun and Mimi. And Haikun and Mimi are just going on about how Selene must be having a really good time. The next panel, which is Lucy and Gray, I love their panel of them two fighting together. We've never seen a fight with those two fighting together, which is really cool. I love Lucy's little stance that she's doing. I just like Gray in the background. He looks cool. I really like this shot of these two. It looks really cool. I love that Lucy just kind of always points out the obvious she's been pointing out the obvious the past like couple chapters, but she's like, oh yep, this is a revenge match, let's go. I like how Gray also has to flex like, well, if we lose, Fairy Tail doesn't lose against the same enemy twice, so you guys are screwed. So they go off charging. Wendy's just talking about how she's healing Natsu and Urza. The next panels aren't of the most importance, like it's just like the Grand White Priestess trying to like go run away, but you got one panel of Happy trying to flirt, which is kind of cute. The first part of this battle that you actually get to see is Haikun versus Gray, and she's immediately like, okay, I'm gonna freeze you, and Gray's like, I'm not gonna get frozen this time. Now I can't tell because obviously this panel is black and white, but I think he blocks her freeze. I can't tell, like, is he using Demon Slayer magic, or is he just using regular magic, or is he actually using spiritual arts now? I would like to know that, but I guess he's blocking her now, even though he got immediately frozen last time. Now you go over to Lucy, and she's charging at Mimi, and she immediately kicks it off with the best attack ever, which is the Lucy kick. And, like, I think for Lucy, it's like, oh, this is the first, like, she hits her straight in the face with the Lucy kick, and it doesn't even phase her. She's just like, oh, well, I'm just gonna keep my foot here. But again, like, dude, this chapter was really good for freaking star dresses because Lucy gets creative with it, because then she bounces off of Mimi's face with a Regulus Lucy kick in the Leo star dress. I legit thought we were gonna get we're gonna get some cool Gemini stuff. She's whipping out Gemini again. And to be real, we actually kind of did get a new Gemini attack. We get the double Lucy kick, so she just makes a clone of herself and they both kick Mimi, and that actually does push her back a bit. Now I don't think that caused any damage to her in any slight way, but this is the most Lucy has been able to make her budge. So, and this is also the first villain that's pointed out Lucy's naming schemes here. So she points out, is like, kicking your the only attack you got, and like, why do you put your name in front of it? Like, that's weird. And Lucy's just like, oh, no one's ever pointed this out before. What do I do? I guess Mimi wanted the extra power of a Lucy kick, so she just named her kick the Mimi kick. And she sent Lucy flying. Oh my goodness. And you do get Gemini having genuine concern for Lucy. Like, she's flying back at like miles per hour, and she's like, Lucy, you okay? She's saying she's fine, but like, Mimi is zooming after her. Mimi's next move here, hardcore, reminds me of Tempester from Tartaros, because she does the Mimi Hurricane, and she quite literally becomes a hurricane. Lucy again has very quick thinking during this fight. She does the Virgo form, and she sees this giant tornado coming straight at her, and she just burrows into the ground, which actually quite shocks Mimi, because she's like, where the heck did she go? And Lucy pulls a Naruto hidden Neji during the Chunin exams, because she just burrows straight out of the ground and uppercuts her. I like how this is the biggest surprise to Mimi. Like, what, punches too? What's going on here? So, Lucy's done actually pretty minimal damage to Mimi this time. Mimi's pointing out, okay, your movement, it's different from before. Like, how could you have improved so much in such a short time? Because in all actuality, their last fight was like, probably in terms for Lucy, like a day at max ago, because she got defeated. They turned her into a yokai, which she probably doesn't entirely fully remember. And then they snapped her out of it. They broke out, and then she's immediately fighting her again. So honestly, I can't imagine it being like that long of a time. And Lucy goes on about, meeting with Aquarius again, and how that friend made her realize something very important. I will say, I absolutely love Lucy, and I want to see her get stronger and stuff. But her reasoning as to, quote unquote, why she got stronger here, because she says, she met that important friend, probably Aquarius or the whole Zodiac. Her reasoning is, because I'm me. Even if I'm weak, I won because everyone was with me. Now, you're not wrong. I mean, Team Fairy Tail, or the whole guild as a whole, if they're all together, they are insanely strong. And most of the time, Lucy is with like Team Natsu, Natsu, Gray, Urza, Wendy, very, very strong members. So she doesn't necessarily have to be the strongest. I will say, like, Lucy, on creativity and like strategy, very strong. Okay, you didn't get a training arc. I wanted to see a training arc. We didn't really get that, but I'll let her confidence roll here. maybe she'll whip something out that's a lot stronger. Maybe we'll get something like, maybe this confidence is worth it. Like maybe she's got a trump card up her sleeve. Who knows? And Mimi just kind of looks shocked, like she's got this confidence about her. And that's the end of our chapter. So my thoughts. The Earthland bits, kind of crazy that Selene's attacks are like multi-dimensional. Now going into the actual fight with Selene and Suzaku, she was whooping him this chapter. Like he got so damaged and she didn't even get a scratch on her. To be honest, how this fight was going in this chapter, I think he's gonna lose. I don't see him really winning unless if he has some insane attack up his sleeve. Now with the Whiteout Village stuff, Gray, really want to know, is he using Demon Slayer magic? If he's using Demon Slayer magic to stop Haikun's attacks, then I'm more of a believer on that, but I don't know if he's using Demon Slayer magic. But if he's using, let's say, spiritual arts, then how did he manage to learn that without learning that or having Wendy? Well, I guess Wendy's around. She could have buffed them, but who knows? She wasn't shown buffing them, I will say that. But Gray does have an affinity for picking up people's ice and being able to neutralize it. He did it with Silver. The whole Sun Village, that was completely frozen. Then he just figured out how to undo it by just killing the ice. So maybe him feeling that ice that one time with her already freezing him made him like adapt to it. Who knows? Now Lucy, she actually had quite a good showing this chapter. Like she actually had some decent hits on Mimi. I liked her creativity with comboing the star dresses together and using her celestial spirits. That was very fun. She has some hardcore confidence now. I would like to see her use that confidence to be able to win this, like see some insane attack come out, and I really do hope she wins it. I'm almost confident that Gray and Lucy will probably win their respective fights in this rematch, but who knows how that will go. I wouldn't be shocked though if both of them are about to maybe defeat their foe and then magically at the end Urza and Natsu come in to save the day. Like I wouldn't be shocked if that happens, but I feel like that would kind of ruin Lucy and Gray's moment to shine right here, which I kind of hope it doesn't happen, but it very well could. And also I kind of like having Lucy and Gray having a fight together against enemies. Like that's a rarity that we've never had before. So yeah, leave your comments for the chapter below. If you have any other video ideas, leave them also in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and this is Drago signing out.